Thank you for coming to Deb Chanel's 48th World, where we do recaps and reviews on soap operas as well as reality shows. Right, today we're going to be going over The Young and The Restless that aired today, Tuesday, April 26, 2016 at 3 o'clock. We're going to jump right on into it. Nothing really happened too much that was kind of exciting that we didn't already anticipate happening. So, we go to the first scene, which is with Ian and Victor. Ian is making small talk with Victor just to see how he's doing. Is he still with him on his team as far as trying to break out or really walk out the door? I don't know how they're going to devise that type of a plan, but Ian seems to think that Victor is his key out. And with him being kind of chummy with Dr. Gates, he thinks it should be very well knowledgeable that he's going to use him. And Victor knows he's using him, but Victor's also using him. Now, how the plan is going to unfold, I have no idea. Excuse me. But it seems like it's going to surround around Meredith Gates because Dr. Gates' father is on the review board, from what I'm understanding. And if she gets in good, or Victor gets in good with her, then it might be some leniency that she will ask her dad for. But right now, she tends to not care too much for her father. And, but in a sense, Victor reminds her of her father. I guess the good side. So we don't know. We'll see how it turns out. We go from there to Victoria and Nicholas. Victoria is glad to have Nicholas back at the helm with her. He is her right-hand man. And she's just glad. She's just glad to have him back. That's all I can say about that. We go to Sharon and Sage. Sage is asking Sharon, why is she crying? Why is she boo-hooing? She has everything, it would seem. And she has a brand new baby boy. She just don't know what the tears are for. Of course, Sharon is saying, well, basically I'm just happy for everybody. And I'm just sad for everybody. So it's like, okay, you're going through an emotional crisis right now. So should I leave or should I get you something or what? What can I do for you? Because I don't like you being this way and I don't like you seeing you this way. And she goes on to say she's pretty much tired and that she really wants to give up the plan on finding any more information out about Nurse Stevens or even thinking about rehashing. Excuse me, guys. I took some medication again for my allergies, and it's making me sleepy. But anyway, she goes on to pretty much say, I think we should let sleeping dogs lie. And, because basically she is believing what Patty Williams had told her in the place she went and viewed her at some behavior health center where she's being held. And all of this is coming back and it's making sense to her. But she needs to have concrete evidence, as in DNA evidence, that she's definitely going to send off towards the end of the show to just make sure, because she don't want to upset Sage if in fact she is caring for Christian, which was Sage's and Nicholas' baby, but they were told that the baby had died. So I don't know what Dr. Stevens and what Dr. Anderson or Nurse Stevens was doing and gave Sharon a baby. I have no idea how that transpired, but that has always been my gut feelings with me picking back up on this soap and watching, several episodes and some a little past episodes, that this is in fact the case that has happened. But anyway, Sharon just gets so emotional, and she pretty much just almost get ready to dismiss Sage because she can't take it anymore. She really, really can't. But she don't say anything. She just, continues to listen to Sage's plan of action. And in the back of her head, in the back of her mind, rather, she's thinking, Lord, I don't know how I got this baby from this lady, but this lady is missing her baby because she's always on my baby. And I don't really have any feelings with this baby like I've had with my other children. But, I'm not, I don't know. I got to find out. I got to figure it out. So we move from there. We go to Summer and Mariah. They're both at Crimson Lights going over the comings and goings of the Kevin debacle with Natalie. And Natalie is just a very innocent young lady, it seems. She was being very vocal when she was talking to Michael about them stealing her idea and this, that, and the other. However, um, she seems like a little girl when she's at or with or around Kevin. She wants to be seductive and sexy for him, but she just don't have the maturity level right now to develop that type of alliance, if you may. Um, but she seems like a good person thus far. But going back to Summer and Mariah, Mariah's just not sitting very well with him and Mariah. I mean, I'm sorry, with Kevin and Natalie hanging out so much, because that used to be her and Kevin. And of course, they had their little fling, and it didn't work out because they too much alike, for one. And if they are to survive, they need to let the other win sometimes. It's like, okay, let me do it this time, then you do it next time. That kind of mentality they need to have. Or, no, it's not going to work. But hopefully, Kevin will get back to his bearings and see that um, Natalie do have a crush on him, but he really is not involved emotionally with her. He's in love with her brain, and he wants to use her brain to take it to the next level, to take it to the next revenue, to take it to the bank, if you get my drift. So we basically move off them because they're not really talking about anything worth discussing. Um, we go to Natalie. No, I'm sorry. We pretty much go off of that because they basically are still. Natalie goes to the scene where her and Kevin are still at the athletic club, partaking of high priced items, and she's just really just trying to throw herself on Kevin, but Kevin is a gentleman and he noticed what is going on with her. And he's like, he's not having it, he's not having it, he's not having it. So basically we go to a commercial, we come back, we're on Ian and Victor. Ian is still bothering Victor about what he knows about Meredith Gates because he see them getting very closely. He's tried to have gotten close to Dr. Gates in the past, but he don't have the charm or charisma that Victor do, but excuse me, it eludes when he's around women. It's just that je ne sais quoi he has, you know, and no one else can come close to that. And they go about talking about walking out the prison or breaking out the prison, or however it's going to be a scheme to get them out. We do know this. And Victor's like, okay, and that kind of was foolish to me too, that Victor would want to just go up to him and say, well, let's shake on it. I'm like, what? So maybe he anticipated, is what I'm thinking. Ian trying to damage him in some kind of way so he could get back to the infirmary to see Dr. Gates. Or it could have just be a happenstance where, Victor just got too close. I mean, because when do you shake hands with a convict or a crook? Y'all, what is already overstood don't need no understanding and don't definitely need no doubt. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of curious why he let his guard down, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, we go from that scene, we go to Nicholas and Lucas. Nicholas is asking Lucas to stay away from Summer. And of course, it throws Lucas all off guard because he thought he was being summoned by Victoria for a work purpose, or I don't know. But he definitely wasn't expecting to be in the midst of Nicholas, and Nicholas telling him to disregard his daughter all together, which he's not going to do that. But anyway, we move to Summer and Mariah again. And Summer, while she's there at the Crimson Lights, and they're just going over the ins and outs of her debacle, Mariah's debacle with Kevin. and the advice that she called herself taking for Summer, but still blew up in her face. Well, Summer befriends Mariah's um, insight this time. She goes on to tell her that she slept with Lucas. Was that a good thing to do? I don't think so. Because I think, a snake is a snake. He's going to surely show his real colors sooner rather than later. But anyway, Mariah give her the once over and say, what you do a foolish thing like that for. But okay, she have done some foolish things. So she has to accept Summer doing foolish things as well. So they agree to disagree. So we move on to Natalie and Kevin. Natalie is overly flirting with Kevin. I mean, it's almost like, please get a room. If you're going to continue to, do those type of grouching each other, kissing each other, yes, you need a room. This little woman takes Kevin's phone when it starts to ring. And what is happening is Mariah is calling Kevin, I guess, to talk over some more issues. Not necessarily about the money he pushed her out of or squeezed her out of. I think she just wants to make amends with him so they can go back to being a little bit more closer than what they are or where they are now, because he's spending so much time with Miss Natalie. And like I said, only thing Kevin wants from Miss Natalie, and she's going to sooner find out sooner than later, that Kevin is pretty much just using her for her knowledge, for her brain, her insight of being innovative and striking on that next gold mine type of project. And he wants to be on ground floor with her when it happens. So, of course, Kevin is just worried about dollar signs and solidifying himself on another level so he can, continue to live the life that he thought he was always made to live. I tell you, that boy's a trip. But, she's getting a little bit too inebriated. And Kevin noticed this. He said, no, we're not going to have anything else to drink. No, ma'am. We're going to go home and hopefully put you to bed, or we're going to put some coffee in you, and then we're going to put you to bed. So, we move from that scene. We go to Sharon, Sage, and Sully. Sharon is going over issues about the Fairview visit that she had. Well, I'm sorry. I think it's Sage. It's going over the issues with Fairview. And, of course, Sharon wants to stop the research altogether, quick, fast, in a hurry. And basically, Sage wants to know why the certain change of heart. But, of course, what you call it, Sharon starts deflecting, saying, oh, it's nothing really wrong. It's just I thought it over. I think we'll hurt more people by forging ahead and finding out information that we shouldn't have been privy to from the first place. And I think we're going to be just opening up a lot of doors that we can't shut back once they're open. So she's pretty much like saying in those terms, like she just want to just drop it all together. She don't care if they're close to Pandora's box. She just wants to drop it, period. So, Nicholas, it goes from there to Nicholas and Lucas. Nicholas says he's trying to use Summer. That's what he's basically telling Lucas. I know the type of guy you are, and I know what you want. And why are you playing these games? And why are you playing these games, especially with my daughter? So, basically, Summer gets a phone call. She's thinking it's her auntie Victoria warning her that Nicholas, her dad, is in her office and giving Lucas the once over. But in actuality, Victoria paged her or summoned her to come to the Newman's offices because she basically wanted to introduce her back to an old friend. When she gets there, she's, thanking Victoria, but definitely calling her because she didn't know her dad was over, here getting on her newfound friend slash boyfriend, and she just wasn't having it. But in reality, Victoria did come in, and she told her she didn't call her for that reason. She called her that Kyle, her ex-boyfriend, was in town from New York, and he wanted to see her. So she got the surprise of her life. And they had just finished talking about him at Crimson Lights, her and Mariah. So what a surprise, what a surprise, what a surprise. So we go over from there. We go back to Dr. Gates and Victor. Both of them are in the infirmary taking care of, once again, Victor's wound. How he got the wound, Ian punched him in the stomach when Victor went over there to give him a handshake, in essence of saying both of them agreed to help each other get out of jail. But little did he know, he got sucker punched in the stomach, which made him have pain, and he had, I guess, loosened some of the stitches. So he had to go back, get cleaned up at the infirmary with Dr. Gates. And this gave him an opportunity to talk with her, interact with her, trying to find out some things about her. And she did let her guard down, and she told Victor that he reminded her of her father, and mostly of the stubborn ways that Victor has. And, she wasn't really trying to talk that much about her father because, it was a sensing that she didn't too much care for him. And if anything, if he's like Victor Newman, we can see why. Because he may be very controlling. He can be probably rude at times, just really self-serving and self-engulfed with what's around him and what's important to him, and forget about everybody else and their issues. And that's pretty much where I took that to be. But he did find out that she is fond of her father, but she doesn't like a lot of his ways. So I don't know how that's going to help him and Ian to devise a plan around that, with the help that she may or may not be able to convince her father, who's on the I guess the board of the committee that say who gets to be released from prison, and who will continue to get their terms served in full. So we go to a commercial, we come back, and we're back with Dr. Gates and Victor, and he's still, in a sense, wooing her or using his manly charm. But it like I said, it really doesn't too much work on her, because she just really see him, I guess, as another father figure. We move on from that section. We go to Summer and Nicholas. Summer, like I said, had found out Kyle was back in town and wanted to see her. So Victoria really arranged for Kyle to come down to the office, and she'll have Summer here so they could visit. And that's pretty much was the reason why Victoria had called and told her to come down to the Newman Enterprises. But at the time, Kyle entered into the office where it would have been Victor Newman's office, so we know the head office. She was there trying to cuss out her dad in a nice, nasty way, and Victoria just swooped him, moved him on into the office where they were in confrontation with one another. And it was like, oh, okay, her old boyfriend is back. So Victoria let her know her dad didn't have anything to do with it. It was her making up the plan of action for Kyle to come see her, and more than likely talk sense into her about her newfound beau. And anyway, we move from that situation. We go to Sage and Mariah again. Oh my goodness. Well, not again. She just showed up. She goes to Crimson Lights and she runs into Kevin. And she's wanting Kevin to help her with some investigative type computer technology help. I don't know what she's trying to do. She might be trying to break into somebody's computer to find out more preview information. I have no idea, but Kevin is kind of tending to Natalie at this time, and we know she's a virgin and everything when it comes to drinking, when it comes to sex, when it just comes to interacting, period, with others. That's not a computer. You know what I'm saying? She's good with them. She know how to talk with them and everything. But when it comes to socializing with people in general about any and everything that doesn't have any reference to computer work, she's like a fish out of water, honey. A fish out of water. So he tells Kevin tells Sage he'll be glad to help her, but he needs to get her home and they can talk about it in the morning. Because right now, this girl is a hot mess. So we move from that situation. We go to Sharon and Sully, and they both having a little conversation together. I don't know why we as grown folks think we can have a conversation with infants, but it is what it is. I know I've had my share when my daughter was small, but basically she's going over in her mind, and she has the baby there, so she can watch over him while he sleep, and she's basically beating herself up because she's reviewing in her mind what Patty had told her on several different occasions. And then she's had that moral compass is getting to her. The things to do right by someone instead of holding them in and hoping it works out for itself. No, 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 no. When you know an infraction has been made towards a person and you can resolve the issue, you need to take hold of that and do such things as that to improve their situation and give them what they need, especially when it's the truth that's being questioned here and paternity. So she takes baby Sullivan's brush, which it has, I'm sure, hair particles in it. Then she takes a drinking glass, which has her DNA on it, and she's sending it out to an outside lab for testing for paternity to make sure 100% or at least 99.99 that she's definitely the mother of baby Sully. And if that's not the case, she definitely knows who baby it belongs to, which she's pretty much just going to find that it's Sharon Sage and Nicholas's deceased son that they thought was deceased. But of course, this conspiracy is working around Dr. Anderson and Nurse Stevens. So we go to commercial. We come back from commercial, and we still with Sage and Mariah, and basically what's going on with them two. She's spilling the beans pretty much of what her and Sharon have been up to for the last couple of weeks and the players that are involved. And basically, Mariah's like, I know my mom is not, oh my goodness. And just looking at her, because like I said, I just caught back up on Young and The Restless this year. Just looking at her and knowing she was the Cassie back way in the day. I'm going to say in the 90s, I believe. The late 90s, she came in and played as Sharon's little girl. And, she had a little boy as well. But as she grew up throughout the show, she was involved in a car accident, if I'm not mistaken. And it ended up killing her. Yeah, I think she was behind it. I forgot really what happened, but I think it was a car accident that they were casting her out of the show. And then they brought her back on little skits of playing a ghost and this, that, and the other. But I was just like, going back down memory lane when I saw her trying to play a new role, but the role as Sharon's adopted daughter. I'm like, who does that? But anyway, we because she has a very, well, I won't say uncanny, because it's the same child. They just didn't want her to play the role no more, or she didn't want to play the role anymore, and they just bringing her back. So that's what that was. So basically, Sage just, like I said, spilled the beans, but then Sharon walks in. But let's see. We'll get to that towards the latter part. So we leave from that situation. We go to Victoria and Luca. After everybody has dispersed from her office, including Nicholas, she says to Luca, look, I know you're kind. I know what you're trying to do. And you're not going to do it to my niece. That's not going to happen. So what do you want? Is it a job you're looking for? And Luca said, oh, you gonna give me a job? You gonna do this? She said, I just said that, but for a fact, I am not finna employ you here at all. What I am mainly speaking of is how much I can pay you so you can hit the road and never look back on our little small town ever on your lifetime. And he was like, you are just acting just like your daddy. You say you don't like him. You say he's mean, he's rude, he's insensitive to other people's needs, this, that, and the other, and he tries to bully people. But yet, Look what you're doing. You're doing the same thing. No, I don't want your job. I want your niece because I am in love with her, and that's where it's gonna be. Just that and the other, and you'll see. Bye bye. So he pretty much said no to her offer. He wasn't gonna take that bribe, and he was gonna go, I guess, for the big payday. I don't know if he's gonna impregnate her and get married. It is what it is. Okay, we move on from there. We go to Summer and Cal. They both have called themselves going to the athletic club, and they're going to have a little chit chat time, try to catch up on everything. And that's basically what they do. However, prior to Summer turning down Cal's offer to be her girlfriend again, she pretty much told him, hey, Lucas has done a lot that she's not willing to explain to her family members. And she trusts him, and he's been there for her. So, with that said, Kyle starts to go in and tell what he knows about this little fellow, this little Lucas, what type of, person he feels he is. And of course, Summer don't want to hear it. So she pretty much shut him down, and she tells him goodbye. He needs to go back to, New York, one-way ticket, because she's not interested in him anymore. She was in love with him, but she don't love him anymore. She has definitely grown and matured from the level that they were practicing on when they were girlfriend and boyfriend when he was here in Genoa City. Now, she did say that she's not in love with Lucas, but she would want to see where it would take her. And I'm like, okay, that's a grown way of thinking. That's a grown way of maturing. So she seems like she got her head screwed on right, and she don't let the atmosphere of him being around her cloud her judgment. So I'm cool with that. So we move on from there. She pretty much tell him to get on the next plane smoking and going back home and start worried about her. If she needs him, she got his number. And that's pretty much how it went. He kissed her goodbye. He went on by his way, and she started boo-hooing, crying. Oh, we go to commercial. We come back. Well, hell, I went a little too far, but I ended that up with you all. Pretty much the Summer and Cal thing is over. And then we go on to Ian and Victor. Ian is coming back to see Victor to get the 411 on how he fared by going to see Dr. Gates again for her to repatch him up. And Victor was like, oh, yeah, everything was fine, this, that, and the other. And Victor had him come close to the bars, and he about finna snatch that joker up. He pulled him to them bars. He hit his head, and he kept his head down where he first flipped out the peanuts. So them peanuts was dead. He should just went on and ate his peanuts before he even tried coming to tackle Victor. But Victor told him he'd do that again. That would be the end of him for sure. So that tickled me to death. That really, well, not to death. I don't want to say that. But tickled me, gave me some entertainment. Let's just say it. Pleasant entertainment. I was like, oh my goodness. They think Victor ain't got it going on. Shit, Victor got it going on, honey. He ain't gonna let nobody, not even age, come over on him. He gonna get a brother straightened out. Okay? If he got to put paws on him, he gotta shoot him, whatever. But anyway, we leave that scene. We go to Sharon, Mariah, and Sage. Sharon shows up at Crimson Lights. Don't know why. Because she said she was going to sleep and baby Sullivan was going to sleep. But she walked into a conversation that Sage and Mariah had going on. She couldn't tell what was going on because she wasn't, ears, what do you call it? Eavesdropping. So she just rolled up on them. They saw her. She saw them. And she goes in to say, her and baby Sullivan couldn't sleep, and he basically couldn't sleep because he was teething. So she thought she would just come out and get her little cup of coffee or whatever she does when he does that at the time that he does it. And so she said, oh, okay, I'm sorry about that, this, that, and other. She said, oh, no, don't be. I'll just sit here and chit-chat with you all. But Sage was feeling some kind of way. I don't know why or what she was feeling. Maybe because Sharon had kicked her out the house prior. Or she don't want to research, finding out about the mystery that surrounds Nurse Stevens. It all came at a shock to Sage. So Sage felt like, I'm close to the end. I'm gonna run this race into the end. I might have some pleasant surprises coming my way, but I won't if I don't stay in tune to the path that I'm taking. So pretty much, she had enlisted Mariah to tell Kevin to help her on the computer part that she needs him for. And Mariah said, "Okay, I'll help you out. At least I'll tell him what you need from him, so he can know the specifics." But we leave there. We go to a commercial. We come back, and Ian and Victor are discussing things. Ian's telling Victor that Dr. Meredith Gates' father is on the board. So the inmates in the facility call him the gateway to getting on the outside. So he just thought he would tell Victor that little piece of tea to bring him back into the fold of trusting him. So that was that part for that. We went on to Summer and Lucas. Lucas came, I guess he researched or he asked around, I don't know what, but he found his way to the athletic club. And he basically found her in tears, and he tried to console her and telling her, he's sorry that Kyle had to go. And she completely said, "No, you're not. You're not sorry. You glad he's gone." Which, in fact, he smiled about it and he gave her a kiss. And I guess that she wanted another kiss because it was going to lead into something else, probably more bedtime. All right, so we move on from that scene. We go to Kevin and Natalie. Honey, Natalie came out that bathroom looking all sexy, or as sexy as she possibly could, because she's a newbie and still tipsy. She goes on to try to seduce Kevin, and she stumps her toe. Child, her toe started to swell. Kevin like, "Oh my goodness, you just a walking slut rock." But anyway, it was tickling him too to see her trying to act all seductive and a mature, tantalizing woman when she could play the part. She was just acting it out, but doing it badly. But like I said, Kevin loves her for her mind, not for a relationship. It could work out to that degree, but it's gonna take a while because he don't really see her as that. He see her as a money making machine, and hopefully she won't find that out, or at least not that way. Cause like I said, she seems to be a little nice lady, but she gives you the impression that she's more of a child-minded young adult than a mature young adult, and her acting appropriately. So, Kevin, tries to get some ice to put on her toe, and he puts her on the couch so she could rest a little bit. And before he can get the ice wrapped up in a napkin so he can put it on her or lay it on her, that child went to sleep and she's snoring. And Kevin thought that was the cutest little thing. I was like, "Honey, baby, you can't mess with her. You're gonna have to learn that she is your first. She sees him as her first crush, and that's all. And he can't take it further because she's not on that maturity level to understand of having the kind of relationship he needs. Because right now he's trying to fight a relationship himself. Because he likes Mariah, but it is what it is. He was kind of screwed up since messing with Chloe, I believe. But that is neither here nor there. We move on to Kevin does get her tucked up in the sofa, and he drapes her with a what do you call it, a blanket. He picks up her glasses off of the floor because she's definitely gonna need them. He ain't never seen her without them because she was trying to act too sexy and stuff like that. She might have had contacts, and then she traded them off for her glasses. I don't know. The girl's just cute and funny to me. But anyway, he goes and get her sets, and then he goes and leaves. So I'm sure he would do the dutiful thing and check on her in the morning because she ain't going nowhere. She too lit. And we go to the last and final scene. Sage comes back to give something to baby Sully, and she's overhearing Sharon and Mariah's conversation about her lying to Dylan about a past miscarriage that she never let him knew about. And evidently Sage didn't know about it either, because in the next episode of what we will probably see tomorrow, she goes in to pretty much go back to Nurse Stevens and demand answers. So, it is kind of weird. But like I said, she's on her own with trying to figure everything out. And she's at the tail end where everything's going to come to fruition. So she's going to pretty much know what is going on. But Sharon is doing the due diligence, trying to check out things to make sure that she is not the mother of that child. And that the only person that could be the mother of the child is in fact Sage, and that Nurse Stevens lied and all this, that, and that, or Dr. Anderson had lied, and Nurse Stevens was trying to cover it up or clean it up for her. Who knows? But anyway, that was the recap and review of The Young and The Restless for April 26th, Tuesday. The goings and comings of that particular episode. So, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please tell friends and family members about me. And let's do this review again on tomorrow, April 27th, 2016 at 3 o'clock. Okay, guys, y'all take care. Enjoy my review, and I'll see you tomorrow, God willing. Thank you. Bye-bye.